your week 1 assignments. I'm going to do my best to post this video every week. I'm sure that I will, but it's going to be, hopefully it'll be helpful each week. There's going to be a video for each week, and there's going to be one for the group project. I'm going to dedicate one video to that so that you're not trying to piece together all of the information that you need to try to get this group project done. So that's going to have its own dedicated video. Anyway, I just thought it would be helpful to have a video just going over your weekly assignments, because it never fails. There are always questions, and I mean, you know, one person interprets something one way and another interprets it another way. That's just human nature. So I'm going to try to be very, you know, kind of clarify what's on here, and hopefully that will help you, you know, get your work done or on time, and, you know, avoid any confusion. Excuse me, I have a little bit of a hoarseness in my voice right now, so pardon me. So let's just start with week 1. Obviously, we're going to get acclimated to the text, to the topics of the course, because this is a general course on HR. I mean, there are specific courses in HR like staffing and selection and labor relations and training and development, compensation, you know, you can recruiting, you know, so we're just going to it's like an umbrella class, you know, just kind of covers gives you some general exposure to all of the areas of HR. So that's the purpose of this course. So what you're going to do is read chapters 1 and 2, and you can see as we scroll down there are 3 homework assignments and 1 discussion. I know that probably seems a bit overwhelming, but really, when you get into reading, these are like really short assignments. For example, your Society of Human Resource Management assignment. You go to the website. You're going to look around, poke around the website, click on some links, kind of look at some of the things you might be interested in, and then give me a brief overview of what you see. And then basically when you're looking through this, you need just to think about why this site would be valuable to HR professionals and then non-HR professionals. Because even if you don't work in the HR department, if you're a line manager or something like that, or even an employee, you know, just an employee that doesn't have any kind of management or HR title, there's still some information on here that you could be, you know, valuable to you. So I want you to think about that. And the great thing about these assignments is there's assignment rubrics for each one. And what that means is if you're not sure what you need to do, if you're not sure what content is going to be required for the assignment, excuse me, here's where it tells you. So you're going to see here, it says all the little points here, all the little percentages here tell you, okay, how much it's worth. So for here, content and development, which is obviously important. Student provides a brief overview of the contents found at the SHRM site. And then substance. What you're going to see for this assignment is student takes a position and explains it. What I mean by that, especially with, you know, this is not really an argument assignment or anything, but it is state why you think this information is important and support that information. Now, one thing about doing that is when you do that, I do expect sources and research, because I don't like just seeing someone's opinion. I need something to back that up. I want to see you do that, and, you know, I want to see you use sources and personal experience. If it's applicable, go ahead and if it's applicable, just go ahead and use it. If you have a real life scenario that is like really great, like it's perfect for this type of assignment, please use it. But that doesn't mean I don't want you to use sources. I mean, you use both if you can. If not, use the sources. But I want you to be able. It really adds to the credibility of what you're writing. So, mechanics. I mean, honestly, use Grammarly.com, use spell check, proofread with your eyes. The thing about proofreading is a lot of students will, there's so much that spell check misses, using the wrong word, right punctuation. One of my biggest things, pet peeves, is students who don't use commas. I mean, that drives me insane because you should know how to do that. And a lot of times, I mean, I'll have an entire paper missing commas. So make sure that you're proofreading carefully. But, APA style, double space, 1-inch margins. Just go to, honestly, go to owletpurdue.com. There's a sample APA paper. I'm going to put the link in the classroom. Model it after that. I mean, it's a great example. That's a great site. So I would use that. So that's your first assignment. I don't want to spend too much time on everything. You're probably, I don't want this to go too long. Okay. But I mean, that was pretty simple, I think. Okay, so this next one is, excuse me, create a fictitious HR organizational chart for a large organization demonstrating the relationship of each major section and how it relates up to CEO. Okay, now you can find a million examples of an organizational chart online. I don't want you to copy one, but I certainly don't mind if you use that to research how they're made, some sample positions, but please do not copy one, because I will look, and I really, I understand the need to look for, okay, how does, maybe you want to see how the levels fall. That's fine. There's a lot of different ones. You could Google it easily and find images and find a ton of examples of a chart, organizational chart. But I want you to make up your own original chart. And the positions need to be original, and the chart structure needs to be somewhat original. I mean, I know how many ways can you make a chart. I understand that, but just don't copy one and make it just like another one. So let's look at that rubric. Okay, so 40% possible. Student has created an organizational chart depicting major organizational functions. Substance. Student has shown the basic organizational structure. Chart is depicted in a clear manner. Assignment displays students' understanding. Okay, so basically, make me a chart that's your own, original. Make up some positions. Use some at your work, whatever you need to do, but just don't copy and paste one. Absolutely, do not do that. You're not really going to use APA style here. I guess if you had a lot of misspellings and stuff, I'm going to count off for it. But it's a chart, so that's what I'm looking for. And I think that one's really simple. And it shouldn't take you that long. I mean, you don't have to make this crazy elaborate chart. Don't make me a chart that's got like 3 lines on it. I'm kind of, use your discretion there. Fill up a page. Yeah, that's good. All right, code of ethics. Create a code of ethics for same manufacturing organization, keeping in mind the multiple relationships of a company. That is, read your books. Look up some example codes of ethics for major corporations. That's always helpful. Don't copy and paste it, but you can see how they are in the real world. I want you to make your own original, but I also want it to be something that's realistic. So, that's why it's good to kind of look at other examples. Create a code of ethics for the same manufacturing organization, keeping in mind the multiple. Now, what does that mean? External relationships, external relationships, stakeholder relationships. Think of all those things when you're doing this. A lot of times you have conflict between one or the other, so you need to think about that. How can you operate a company that serves the needs of all of these competing forces? And, what effect does legislation have on the ethics codes? Things like that. You should think about those. Substance, you've shown the basic concepts. The codes of ethics is depicted in a clear manner. Assignment displays students' understanding. So, I want to see you. I think when we're talking about substance and content development, all of that, I want you to develop a code of ethics that takes in consideration all the interested parties and all the external and internal threats and issues that can affect codes of ethics. You might think legislation. Well, what do you mean? Well, think about all the stuff that happened 10 years ago or more with Enron, and then the just absolute ethical breakdown of some of these corporations, and then Sarbanes-Oxley was passed. So that's a legislation that was a direct result of unethical behavior in a company. Or companies, sorry. So think about those things. And then your discussion, which your discussion is on a board, and I'll take you there in a minute. Discuss your opinion on the value of obtaining certifications such as the PHR, SPHR, GPHR, and CPLP. And some of you, I don't know, may already have one of these certifications. I don't. I have the master's in HR. I'm actually going to take the SPHR test later this year. So, yeah, it's a good thing to have. It's getting more and more valuable. So I really want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Some of you may already have it or are looking to get it too. Maybe if you have any experience of if that's helped you or hindered you, feel free to discuss that. Now, I'm going to go to the discussion board here. And what I like to do is, you may see, if you scroll down here, you're going to see week 1 discussion. And I post the question here, but you have to click on it, click in here, and post your answer. I want the question to be right out there so you can just see it when you go right immediately. If you want to answer it now or later, that's up to you, but you have to click into the board to answer the question. But I just like to have it present right there so you can really hear it. See it, excuse me. You can see it beforehand, and if you need to consider what you would say before you're ready to do your, post or whatever. So I'm going to do, that's how it's going to, the format of all the discussion questions will be like this. And then you'll have week 2 discussion and the questionnaire. So that's how we're going to do that. So those are your major assignments for week 1. If you have any questions, just look on the syllabus. I do have office hours. I will be posting in the course news my phone number, my cell number. You can text me, whatever. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off here because we're just specifically discussing week 1. And if you have any questions or concerns, please let me know, email me, or contact me. Thanks, and have a great day.